Tonight's special programming block will be back after these messages from our sponsors.
Good evening, everyone. TRINIDOX Communications International is proud to bring you an evening of entertainment. We promise this will not take long. As your appointed representative from the corporation, I must admit it is strange seeing you all again after so long. Although it is true we have been observing you, though you may not recognize us, at least not in this form. But enough with the formalities. We are here to bring you something very, very important. It was obtained at great cost to the corporation, but we understand the cause is just. After careful consideration, we have decided to give it to you, the viewer. A gift, no strings attached. We trust you will enjoy it and come to appreciate what fortune has deigned to give unto you. No need to worry about the specifics at this time. And as always, Happy Halloween.
Hey everybody. So, how do you make something scary? The obvious response would be that you have to create it with horror in mind. In order to frighten and disturb the minds of others, we must reach within our own minds with intent to create something terrifying. Or so you would think. As it would turn out, some of the most unnerving creative productions of the past few decades weren't ever intended to be as such at all. Look at the countless examples of children's TV programming and other media from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s that unintentionally caused lingering nightmares in children due to content that the artists or producers just didn't consider would actually be frightening. But this doesn't just apply to kids. Art and media are extremely diverse and somehow even more subjective. What's beautiful to one viewer may be terrifying to another, and very often the creator's intent doesn't quite carry through to all potential viewers. This is why context is so damn important. Oftentimes, it's crucial to know what the creator was thinking and intending in order to understand what their art is trying to say. On an unrelated note, you want to know about a place where media can be rapidly and indiscriminately spread with virtually no context at all? Videos and other creative projects shared on the internet can take on a wildly different character than was originally intended, particularly in the web's early days. If a creative piece had content that could even vaguely be interpreted as scary, you can be damn sure someone would take the idea and run with it, posing the project as some mysterious, forbidden, or even supernatural spectacle in the hopes of garnering more attention for it. Some of the information age's most beloved urban legends and scary videos have sprung from origins one wouldn't likely expect. Like showmen spinning tall tales to advertise a shady roadside attraction, internet users have historically had a tendency to take these experimental but otherwise harmless productions and portray them as disturbing artifacts whose purposes and origins are unknown. While this is almost universally untrue, their actual origins can be quite interesting. And tonight I'd like to take a look at a few that caught my interest. On this dark Halloween Eve, let me tell you the tales of accidental horror. Let's begin with a classic. To understand the environment this video would have originally been seen in, allow me to set the stage. It's a dark summer night in 2009. While aimlessly browsing message boards, you suddenly receive a message from a friend. The message consists of a single YouTube link, with the friend simply informing you that it's something you have to see. You click on the link, and what you see is unnerving. In what appears to be a living room or den in a stale, aging apartment or house stands a tall, thin, and eerie figure. It's immediately clear that whatever it is, it certainly isn't human. Its face is rubbery and lifeless, while its arms and neck jerk around erratically. And then it starts to sing. Accompanied by a chaotic, almost frantic MIDI instrumental, it cries out a half-melodic tune with equally uncanny lyrics, the most notable of which being "I Feel Fantastic," the name of the video. The video soon cuts to a shot of the figure sitting down as it continues its music. Bizarre edits including a vertical flip and a strange cutaway to a seemingly nondescript patch of land are shown, and the video abruptly ends without providing any explanation as to its origins or purpose. This video first surfaced online in its most known incarnation on April 15th of 2009 as posted by user CreepyBlog. The original upload, which has since been taken down, featured in its description a retelling of the Greek legend of Pygmalion, a sculptor who, unsatisfied with ordinary women, created a bride from stone. Perhaps what we are viewing is the work of a modern-day Pygmalion, the description postulates. How does that kind of unconditional love feel? Well, how does she feel? Fantastic. Complete with this bizarre description, the video spread throughout 2009, and without any real explanation behind what little CreepyBlog had provided, investigation abounded. It was clear upon even surface-level inspection that the figure was some kind of homemade animatronic, a facsimile of a living being, sophisticated enough to make basic movements, but crude and unnatural in its manner and appearance. But where exactly this animatronic came from, who its maker was, or why it was created in the first place, wouldn't become public knowledge for quite some time. In the years following the upload, I Feel Fantastic became one of the most iconic internet horror videos to ever exist, and with such prestige came speculation of catastrophic scale. Continuing the Pygmalion line of reasoning, some users believe the animatronic had been created by a lonely individual who believed their true love could only be constructed by their own hand. The most popular theory by far, and one that helped to earn I Feel Fantastic its reputation, was the idea that the android had been made by a serial killer who dressed the machine up in the clothes of their victims and made it perform as if it were alive. In this theory, the outdoor shot midway through the video was said to be the final resting place of those they had killed. Others still believed it to be nothing more than a particularly clever and subversive found footage style horror project. But in the end, none of this would turn out to be true. The android was found to have been the creation of one John Bergeron, an engineer and aspiring musician from Burlington, Vermont. In the following years, a number of sites featuring John's creations were found. A GeoCities site was discovered, featuring the first mention of the android in an update from 2001, a full 8 years before the upload of I Feel Fantastic. Her name was Tara, and she was created by John not for sadistic interests or as the result of a murder, but simply as the prototype of an android design he envisioned being sold to everyday households in the not-too-distant future. A small portion of an almost painfully early 2000s Android hobbyist site was devoted to talking about Tara's design, and how John Bergeron was planning on selling her for around $2,000. In 2004, John would release a promotional DVD featuring a showcase of Tara performing various original songs, including Please, the actual title of the song featured in I Feel Fantastic. At some point between 2004 and 2009, a small handful of YouTube users would get their hands on the disc and upload small fragments of its contents online, with I Feel Fantastic being the most popular. Almost a decade later, an individual named Yitzi Lit was able to get their hands on a copy of the original disc and uploaded its contents in their entirety to YouTube. The other videos are similarly bizarre, to say the least, but this was, of course, not intended. John Bergeron never meant for his video to be spread beyond its original intended audience of Android enthusiasts, and Terra's original purpose had been to entertain, not to frighten. But once the footage made its way onto the internet, it took on a life of its own, and became a legendary, if not disturbing, shared memory between those raised in the information age. Although it's not known for sure, there are rumors that John Bergeron passed away unexpectedly in his Vermont home in 2005, which would mean he never lived to see the unintended popularity his Android would eventually accrue. But while he may not have ever seen it, and while its status as a horror icon may not have been his intent, it's strangely comforting to know that his legacy lives on in the form of his Android creation, or at least a video of her. What exactly happened to Terra in the 20 years following her creation is entirely unknown. Let's step a few years back in time. 2006 was firmly within YouTube's Wild West era, a time when anything and everything was being posted indiscriminately, and no one truly knew what would become the next viral fad. Enter Agamemnon Counterpart. The name is, as you might have guessed, entirely meaningless, but the video was truly something unique. It begins on a silent black title card informing the viewer that, in the year 2571, a video cassette tape had been found in the rubble of a certain blue planet, but that the following video had nothing to do with the tape's contents at all. Standard fare so far, but then the video begins. Agamemnon Counterpart was not nearly as cohesive as something like I Feel Fantastic. The video opens on about 8 seconds of badly damaged but still comprehensible animated video. Two strange creatures move towards the camera in a setting reminiscent of a children's animated TV show, while psychedelic, upbeat music plays. Around the 32-second mark, however, the video begins to rapidly degrade as pained screaming can be heard. What follows is a series of disjointed and disorienting graphics. A screaming, eyeless face, a world consumed by the strange creatures seen at the video's outset, a bizarre levitating amalgamate, and more. All the while, the screaming grows more and more intense while the upbeat music continues uninterrupted. The video closes on a more subdued shot of a lone figure standing on an empty hillside as the video warps and distorts around them. And the video ends. Agamemnon Counterpart is weird. Unlike I Feel Fantastic, there's really nothing to latch onto. It's just a minute and 30 seconds of chaos. So, naturally, viewers took the video and went wild. This was one of the first true horror videos of the YouTube era to have an urban legend surrounding it, something that would become a trend. As the story went, the tape containing the video was found in an isolated forest in Japan, and the screaming heard in the background was a recording from an apparent rape. The video, the legend claimed, was overwritten by the cartoon, but the audio remained. It's not particularly believable, but in the absence of anything else, this was a story that made the rounds for years until investigators began to dig into the video's origins. As it would turn out, the video was in fact an art piece created by one Jason Kovac for a 2001 experimental video art competition called Destination Imagination. But beyond this, very little is actually known about the video's origins. It's unclear if it was meant to be frightening or simply wildly experimental, and it's unlikely we'll ever really know. But regardless, Agamemnon Counterpart has certainly secured its place as one of the progenitors of the accidental internet horror genre. Now, this is a video whose deeply disturbing nature I can personally attest to. On April 3rd of 2006, a video entitled Dining Room or There Is Nothing was uploaded to YouTube by a channel named David Earl. Clocking in at a very brief 1 minute and 7 seconds, the video opens on a shot of a strange woman seated at a dinner table. Her face is pale and ashen, and a fire flickers outside the dining room window behind her, providing the room with its only light. Crackling static, strange metallic scraping, and a haunting melody played on a distant piano can be heard. The woman's eyes are closed, but as the camera slowly dollies out, they suddenly snap open. Her mouth barely moving, the woman speaks 3 indecipherable words in a voice that sounds as if it comes from somewhere far beyond, then falls dead into her bowl. The camera continues to pan out and lingers for an uncomfortable amount of time before beginning to move back in. It becomes clear that the footage is now playing in reverse. As a consequence, the woman suddenly sits bolt upright in her chair, and as the video draws to a close, repeats her previous statement in reverse, making her 3 words very clear.
There is nothing.
I have something of a history with this video. It was one of the first pieces of internet content that legitimately disturbed me as a kid, and I'll say that more than one nightmare was caused by it. Even watching it back today, I still get strange chills. Something about the way the woman stares into the camera with her dead eyes and speaks those 3 words has always stuck with me. And it stuck with many other internet users too, as the video became yet another classic among the ranks of the internet's most unnerving content. It became a popular subject of reaction content, with content creators attempting to interpret its strange meaning. But the story behind this one is, in fact, one of the most straightforward. The channel that uploaded the video in 2006, David Earl, was the video's creator. Earl is an Irish communications and media specialist who has, in the past few decades, produced an array of video projects and pieces of media for various marketing campaigns. Experimental films were something Earl rarely dabbled in, but he did, on occasion, get the opportunity to create them. Dining Room, or There Is Nothing, was the result of one such endeavor. The film was inspired, quote, by a personal, paradoxical desire for empirical proof that there is nothing on the other side of life, according to Earl, who intended for the film to represent a woman dying, then insisting that, after death, there was nothing, acting as a paradox of sorts. The fact that the video flips on itself serves to enhance this effect. This video was unusual fare for Earl, which makes it all the more surprising that out of everything he had created over the past 20 years, it was this video that became the most influential. While it was perhaps intended to be more introspective than frightening, the outcome was plain to see, as I can personally confirm. Beauty, they say, is in the eye of the beholder. Well, so is fear. What may have been created as innocent, experimental, or otherwise harmless projects of artistic expression may seem, to some, a finely engineered piece of horror media. Tonight, I've shown you 4 strange videos, which, through the unpredictable currents and dangerous slipstreams of the World Wide Web, were reframed into something wholly unlike their original forms. If there's any one thing to take away from here, let it be this. Things are not always as they seem. The ideas and images that may have scared you in some distant, half-remembered past may very well have been created with the best intentions in mind. While this may not detract from the inherent feelings they may evoke, it's always worthwhile to take a slightly deeper look. It might just give you a better understanding of something you've taken entirely for granted. And if you're lucky, it might just open up a few more mysteries of its own.
Thank you for your time. We trust you have all enjoyed the presentation. However, it is with great regret we must inform you that you have been led here under false pretenses. At TRINIDOX Communications, we always put the viewer first, and it is with this value in mind that we have elected to subject you to an experiment of sorts. By watching this harmless presentation, you have unknowingly had programming implanted deep within your subconscious. Our purposes will not be revealed at this time, but rest assured, loyal viewers, it will become apparent very soon.
Man, what the hell is this? You telling me there's nothing better on TV right now? Oh, okay, that's better. Thank you guys for watching, and happy Halloween.